Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Fight Sport Manila Verbal Sparring!
Hey guys, what's up? It's Paulo Gonzalez and welcome to another episode of Fight Sport Manila Verbal Sparring. This is our 13th episode, so maraming salamat to everyone who watched on the previous ones and who's still watching right now. We have a great show, but as always, that intro is made by none other than Lenny Hart. She is a legendary ring announcer when it comes to MMA in all of Asia, and she's been voicing all of the video game characters that you love so much in Tekken, like Anna Williams, if I'm not mistaken, and many more. And if you want to have your own personalized greetings, shout outs, your own intro to your podcast, all you have to do is check out www.lennyhart.com. And as always, our sponsor, Bad Boy PH. Guys, you got to check out their new shirts, the Philippine Glitch shirt. The Philippine Glitch shirt. That's so cool. Chol and myself ordered a while ago because we want to support them. And man, my size is already sold out, so I had to go one size smaller. And you guys should check it out because Bad Boy Philippines is not only limited to MMA or any combat sports, it's also lifestyle. They have JM De Guzman, Cuatro, even Sarah Carlos, among other ambassadors. So you guys have to check it. Now, again, this is a special episode because we have our friends from the pro wrestling scene, the PWOGs. But before we introduce them, as always, the producer of the show, Cholo Gonzalez. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, everyone? What's up to everyone watching right now? One of our friends, Mitzi, says that this is actually Friday the 13th episode. So, yeah, here's to hoping to no technical glitches or whatever. Anyway, I'm super excited to have our guest on today. If you want to learn about Philippine wrestling and everything that goes around it, I guess we have the best guests for that, right?
Yeah,
And
definitely. Yeah, go on.
yeah, also, we almost forgot that we already have the list of names for our Bad Boy Shorts giveaway. And yeah, we're probably going to reveal them later on, right?
Yeah, another thing, man, and this is on the spot. We didn't talk about this. I see a lot of comments of Team Botido and Pata Team. We still have that Bad Boy elbow pads, right? You think we could give that away on today's episode?
Yeah, you know what? Let's give it away. Might as well
Sure.
give it away, right?
Okay, it's just
So
this simple, okay?
elbow.
All you have to do is hashtag Team Botido or Pata Team, which team you are on, while asking questions to our guest. And at the end of the show, Cholo will collate them and we will pick a winner of those Bad Boy elbow pads. And
Wait,
again,
what?
Cholo, yeah, please go
Yeah,
on.
let me get this straight. They have to use hashtag Team Botido and Pata Team.
Yeah, I mean, they're already doing it
All
uh,
right.
for the past
Uh,
eps, and we are not acknowledging them. I think this is the time to acknowledge them because I've seen all the comments has been mostly 90% Team Botido and Pata Team. So tell us which team you are on, and let's make it happen. And again,
all right.
follow us on all our socials: Fight Sport MNL on Facebook and Fight Sport Manila on IG and YouTube. Now we are going to be giving away something once we reach 1,000 on IG and another 1,000 on YouTube. So just make sure you comment on the videos on YouTube so that you could be included in the random draw. We can't mention it yet, but it's going to be really cool. So I'm excited for it and hope you guys would subscribe as well. So
Yeah, special shout out to our teammates, Ken and Mart. Ken's gonna be supporting us backstage later on, which is a big help, especially at episodes like these. Yeah. Anyway, let's get the show on the road. Enjoy tonight, guys, and have fun.
all right, so I'll be introducing the first guest. He's a member of the PWOG. He has been a pioneer in PWR since it started. He's one of the most recognizable characters in the promotion. He's won the PHX title, and he is known as the social media sinister before. I don't know if he's still the social media sinister right now, but I guess it's time to find out. Let's give it up for Ken Warren. Hey
What's up,
Ken, what's up,
bro?
brother?
It's
All
all
right,
good,
hey,
man. Entry number one, huh? Entry number one.
entry number one. Now, yeah, it's been a while since we talked, and I got surprised when you posted that video of our last interview. It's been that long, man. How does it feel that you haven't talked to a person physically for a long time already?
Well, in terms of interview, yeah, man, I missed that. And funny you should mention the first time we met, we talked. This was actually the shirt I was sporting, bro.
Oh, cool.
Without even thinking about it, I wore this because I felt like I've been wearing PWOG shirt and hashtag PWOG live. So let me wear something that's Ken Warren. So, oh my God, wow, full circle, bro. So
Yeah,
we talk to each other when in person, and right now it's virtually. And bro, well, I do see people, but like in terms of interview, it's crazy. It's a different kind of you know um improv game, if you will.
yeah, definitely. And again, I've said it a million times. I want to thank you for granting us that interview that time. It was so late because Revo X ended very late, and of course, a lot of fans had to ask pictures of you, and you still accommodated us. That was so cool of you, man.
Oh man, thank you for having me. Thank you for thinking of me, man. I mean, that night I just got the hell kicked out of me, with that freaking the booth of one Panzer was here on my freaking forehead. That's what happened that night. Other than that, I did your awesome guesting, man. And why wouldn't I share that? Legit, that's like really top list of my favorite interviews ever,
Oh,
man. It's crazy.
thank you, man. Thank you. And I want to tell you something about that interview. So,
I
as you
ain't,
can
ain't
see,
kidding you, bro. I ain't kidding you.
yeah, oh man, it's the same shirt. And look at my hair at that, man. That's so crazy. But yeah, speaking of that interview, man, you helped our page for people to appreciate the pro wrestling side of things, because usually what we do is we have guys like Cuatro, Rexlau, and guys with MMA backgrounds to show them, that pro wrestling is equally as strenuous as, it's a tough sport. But having you being a guy with just a pure pro wrestling background and seeing how you talk, how passionate you are, and how open you are to answering the criticisms you had during those times, man, you did open a lot of our MMA fans to embrace the pro wrestling scene. So thank you for that, brother.
I mean, thank you for the platform. That's always my goal ever since. Just Filipinos ma-appreciate siya ng Pinoy. Just Filipinos appreciate pro wrestling. That's just like what I said in that same interview. You don't have to like it. You don't have to respect it, but you just accept it, guys. Of all the things you're gonna accept in the Philippines, come on, man. Pro wrestling, it's not a bad thing to accept.
True, man. Like, I think that is the best thing to accept. And yeah, we showed that video of you and Panzer before. I think Panzer guested to us before, and he said that the gym was closing, so you guys had to do some last minute video takes for that. I think that's the gym selfie daddies kind of tag team you had.
Yes, sir. That's the Jim Selfie that is. And fun fact, that was actually shot where I live, in the gym area, and it was about to close. I believe that was a Saturday, and the gym person, or like the one you need you the one attending to the gym was cool enough to say like, okay, sir, you pwede ka pumasok basta wala na tong taas. And just shoot the stuff. And that wasn't even inside the gym. That was outside. That was near the pool area.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now, before we continue this conversation, the one and only Sir Massage, Chuck Salmon, Ken Warren is Sir Massage approved. We
Oh,
hope to see
thank
you
you, sir.
soon, Charlie. Man, it's been a while since you've been here, so hope you're doing well there. Now, speaking of that video, you had long locks, man. Please tell us the story why you decided to have your hair cut.
You want the long story, or you want the short but sweet answer story?
It's your show, man. You decide.
Man, it's your show. I'm just the guest.
I mean, come on, man. It's not every day we'll have you, so probably go for
Yeah.
the long one then.
All right, bro. I'm just messing with you. Yeah, dude. Because like I just noticed, just like everyone else is not really. I'm not really anxious, but I'm stressed out because I do have a day job. I'm just stressed out, and I notice. Um, I didn't even notice about the weather, but like I was talking to my barber when I had this cut, and I'm like, Sir, bakit kaya ano siya? Bakit na parang ang dalas no hair fall ko? So parang that time I was like, oh, what the hell's happening? And he was saying like it could be the weather. It's definitely stress. So what I did was like, you know what, screw it. And when we had guests like Zicky Dice on hashtag PWOG, there you go. When
There
we
you go.
had guests Zicky Dice on hashtag PWOG Live and Brian Pillman Jr. Um, I just got inspired with the mullet. I was because you know what, something about me is I'm a sucker for standing out. When something is different, when I see like something hasn't been done, at least here in the Philippines, if you know what I'm saying, I would like to be, one of the, if not the person to introduce it. So in a way, you could say I'm groundbreaking like that. But that's just, scratching my back right there, or like pumping my own horn, if you will.
Yeah, man, but you do rock that. And just so you know, man, our producer, Charlie Gonzalez, was contemplating to have the mullet even before, just because of what's happening in quarantine. I'm sure some of your friends online, you could see them doing some crazy haircuts. I think I saw a photo of someone who shaved his head and had that avatar arrow. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Hey, rock that, dude. I mean, when's the next time people will see you in person, right? Freaking 5 months from now. Heck, I feel like you know what? One of the reasons as well, like if I cut it already, right? But like if people see me in from the Revo Nation, the PWR, or the fans see me, it's probably the same length as before. You know what? I'll show it here. I'll show it here, guys. Like
Oh,
this
there
is
we
what it
go.
looks like. That's freaking how would you say? It's I don't know if you can hear me, but like it's a mohawk. It's a mohawk mullet. I don't know if that makes sense.
It's similar to the character of Dacre Montgomery in Stranger Things. If you were watching, what's his name? Billy from Stranger Things.
Is that the
It-
same Billy that had the same hair as mine before?
Man, I am not sure. I am not sure because, but if you would watch Stranger
I
Things
mean, the
on
one with the
Netflix,
cap, with the curly hair, the one that looks like on the cover of the Mad magazine. Is that him?
oh man, I I think not. But he's the Red Power Ranger during the reboot. If you watch that,
No, no, man.
you can
Sorry,
check it
brother.
later. You can
Yeah, that's
check it
true. I
later.
can search it.
Now, yeah. Again, you didn't come here alone, and I believe your tag team partner is already at the back. So you're gonna join us, but I think it's time to bring out the one and only, the Senorito Jake De Leon.
Am I on? Is this
Hey, how you doing, Jake?
Yo, good. I'm doing good. Good evening, guys. And Ken, you're already showing off the hair. That was early. That was early.
We're rocking. Oh yeah, dude. We have to start early. We're rocking white today, huh?
Yeah,
I
White
know we're
versus
yeah.
rocking
black.
white. You you have the Ken Warren shirt. I have my well, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's Bruce Lee with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
Oh
from
yeah,
the
we see a
from the
portion of it.
tower from that movie. Yeah. So anyway, hi
So
Paolo. Thank you for having me on. Thank you to Fight Sport Manila also. Shout out to Bad Boys PH of course and Ken. It's not like we see each other every week, right?
Yeah, yeah, dude. I haven't seen you
yeah.
in like 3 days. I don't know.
Okay,
You're the
before we
new.
continue,
Go ahead. Go
there's a
ahead.
request by Aunt Sierra for a bearded PWOG. Are you guys open to rocking some facial hair, or would you like to
Well,
be as clean shaven as possible?
the funny story is there because like I don't know how my facial hair grows out because when I was growing up, like when I was in high school or in college, this facial hair never existed. I guess the amount of testosterone or like whatever
chemicals that help the beard grows just came out when after college. So I don't know. Like, I'm surprised at myself that I'm able to grow like a beard that looks like this right now. But yeah, that's it. But Ken, I don't know if you guys want to see Ken with a beard, because like he's too much of a baby face right now, Ken. So I don't know.
Well, do you guys want to see Ken with a beard? Comment it down and let's see. Come on, guys.
Yeah, guys, comment that and hashtag Team Butido, hashtag Pata Team, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
hashtag
yeah, go
those.
ahead.
No, like I
Bearded
want to
Ken.
grow it out. I want to grow it out. I can't. You have to understand, guys. I can't. I want to. This freaking thing, this mustache. I look like a freaking hito or a catfish when I try to grow it out. It's like it doesn't even connect.
Yeah,
Freaking
man.
A,
I
man.
Ken
Anyone
Warren
can
can
grow a
grow a
beard.
beard. I can't grow a beard as well. Like I've been trying during the quarantine, and it looks so masagwa. So I actually, before this started, I had to shave because I was like, I can't rock this. It's just like this is the only hair that is noticeable on screen. So I said I gotta take it off.
The
So
Master
And then
Shifu. The Master Shifu look, right?
it,
yeah,
it takes
definitely.
it takes a while. It takes a while to grow. It takes patience. It takes a lot of care, and just, well, care and not caring at the same time, because we're in quarantine. Not as Ken mentioned earlier. It's not like people will see you. A lot of people will see you. So rock those crazy haircuts. Do a reverse mohawk. Do whatever you want, because yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of doing something crazy, I think a lot of people are open to the possibility of seeing a bearded Kane, depending on how much bearded Ken. I'm sorry, I said Kane. Bearded Ken.
I already saw Bearded Kane.
Yeah, definitely. Now,
You've never had a
going back
beard.
to you, JDL, the last time we spoke, I believe
Mm.
was over in Nasal. That's like one of
Yes,
my
that was,
favorite
yeah.
ones.
Was that? I'm not sure if that was before or after Revo X, but like, yes, I do remember that, Inasal. Thank you again for that wonderful interview with Inasal in the JT's Manukan. Joel Torre, if you want to come on, hashtag PWG Live. If you're watching this, let us know.
Come on, he still has yet to respond, man.
Uh, we have our friend Noel, who works in the film industry. He was able to get me like a shout out from Joel Torre, who was partly tipsy, I believe, in that video, which was a very pleasant surprise. But as far as a face to face meeting, we have yet to do it. Even like an online meeting, we have yet to do it. So, Joel Torre, I'm still like looking for you if ever you want to do an entrance in a PWR show, like throwing Inasal out to the people or whatever. Let me know.
So if anyone here knows any social media account of Joel Torre, just tag him and we're gonna make it happen. We need this is like bound to happen for the longest time. And that interview was actually before homecoming, where before you faced
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
TJP. And yeah, that's the video.
There you
I
go.
mean, look at that. The beautiful JP's in the salle, man. That was one of the best. Now, speaking of that, the event
Mhm.
has concluded. Both of you guys are in it. I mean, could you share to us the feedback that you get based on the people who already watched the pay per view? Let's start with you, JDL.
As far as the feedback goes, they really enjoyed it. It's PWR Homecoming, in my opinion, and like in a lot of people's opinions, that was like the culmination of like the 5 years before that event happened came to be, because like 5 years toiling, not really, not like growing the scene, like on our own blood, sweat, and tears, getting minimal help from people outside. Like, we're very thankful for the guys that came over, like Graven Sloan, Sosai King, Kai Katana, Billy Swade, of course, and a lot of other people, like people like Emi Skura and the coming over. That was the culmination of the 5 years that it took to get to that point. And as far as the feedback, as I've seen, there's not much negative feedback. They really enjoyed the matches. The three-way match, of course, with Jeff Cobb, Quattro, and Chris Panzer, that was like one of their top matches of the night. I'm just lucky to have been in that match with TJP and show them like, okay, this is like the Filipino dude that was all over the world against a Filipino dude that was born and raised here. So I'm just happy to be a part of that event, and I'm just still happy that it's still available actually on streamsessions.live. If you guys just go to streamsessions.live, you can still get your code and watch it. I think up until July 31, 500 pesos. I'm sorry, I'm plugging right now, but it's
That's
the
cool, man.
promoter in me. It's the promoter.
Yeah, definitely. And we watch it. Me and Cholo, we bought a ticket and we were able to watch it, which is cool because you don't have to buy one ticket for one person. Like me and Cholo and some of our family here, we watch the show together because we're big wrestling fans. I want to commend you something on your match, man.
Mm,
You've always been talking that you've been training stronger with Gab. There was a spot
mm.
there where you were going to do your Kobe or spring chicken back then, and you actually
Yeah,
slipped from the apron. And
yeah,
I was
yeah.
surprised that you were able to lift yourself with just using your arms without
Mm.
even using your feet. That shows how strong you were and how prepared you were during your fight.
Yeah, that specific spot, I was so mad. Like when I slipped, and I was just hanging on there. I know, like I went up right away, but like I was hanging on there, and I was like, so I just like pulled myself up because I was so mad. But I'm glad that the spring chicken itself didn't really botch or anything. But yeah, I think a lot of what I did with Stronger with Gab was just aesthetic wise, I didn't really look all that different. I might have looked like tighter and stuff, but like I didn't really look all that different. But like what I did with Stronger with Gab, shout out to him, follow him on IG. It was a lot of the performative aspects, like explosive movements, all the being able to carry yourself and everything. So I'm just saying, like, in terms of fitness, I'm not sure if people already know this. I'm pretty sure they do. Like, in terms of fitness, it's not only the aesthetics that you have to work for, it's also the performance aspect of it. And thanks to Stronger with Gab, when it came to PW Homecoming and fighting against TJP, I definitely was like at the 150% that I needed to be for that match.
True, man. And like I said, man, you look great. I'm sure the fans who've been following for the last 5 years look great. What I noticed is anyone who talked about your body during those times were probably the new eyes, and that's a good
Mm,
thing in a way because it means you brought new audience to your program. So that's really
mm.
a cool thing to do, man.
Yeah, and I think for the longest time, like when we started out with PWR, I was one of the guys that would always get all those the fat jokes, the chubby jokes, the dad bod jokes, and it's not that I was affected by it and then I wanted to like change my body, but like I really wanted to change my body to be like a better performer, a better athlete. So I did it for me, and yeah, that's all anyone can ask of us. Really, that's all you can ask of yourself. If you really wanted to be like at the top of your craft, you're gonna do everything that you can to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think you wouldn't have it any other way. Now, going to you, Ken, you and Vlad wrestled a different type of match. It's similar to if a WWE show would be in Manila. That's the kind of vibe you did. It's similar to the Kevin Owens and match. Damn, what am I saying? Yeah, like if you watch that show,
Right? That's hey man, like I love that. You was talking about the Andrade versus Kevin Owens match and WWE Manila September 2019. That was after Homecoming, I believe.
yeah.
So when I saw that curtain jerker match of them, I was like, "Yo, this is what kind of did. Like we made the most of the time we had. We weren't supposed to be the main attraction, but we made people, we knew our role. How The Rock would say, "Know your role." We knew our role, and we just made the most out of the time that was given to us. And I thought I was the only one who knows, because like not to sound very vain about it or anything, but like, yeah, dude, that's basically it. That's why I appreciated that match too. And I I'm just happy we both had fun. I think that's what I know.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say that the match served its purpose because most of the matches were towards the young, the older, like the teens, the adult wrestling fans. Your match was similar to something that kids would actually digest and enjoy because they got close to you. I think you gave merch to just one kid, right? You and
Yeah,
Vlad.
dude.
The
We
one
didn't even
lucky
know
kid.
that kid, man. We didn't even know that kid. He made it on the replay too on Stream Sessions Live. Sorry to promote, but like, Stream Sessions Live, if you want to catch PW Homecoming, available until July 30. So
The funny
31.
thing, like, if I can interject, the funny thing there was like, like as a wrestler, people tell you like to look at one fan or like one kid so that they can get the rest of the crowd into it. I think you and Vlad looked at the same kid, which is why you guys both zoned in on that kid. And then, oh man, I'm pretty sure he had the best night of his life.
And to add on to that, it's like not just saw one kid. It was like that in the movies or in the cartoons, that light bulb moment, literally, or like that spotlight moment. Like, who will catch my attention? I have like 10 seconds. And then there's
Mm.
this kid with the light, and I'm like, yeah, looks cute kid. Let's give him something. I don't know, something you won't expect from the show.
Yeah, and I'm sure that kid would invite his classmates to go to another PWR show. That's smart from you, and also you help set the tone for the future match. Because imagine if you did some hard hitting match, then the crowd would probably get riled up, and once it goes on the main event co-main, they might not have the same energy. So you took it on a different aspect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it was still pretty early on in the card, so like I wouldn't dissect it that much, but like in terms of that, at least again, know your role and just make the most of the time you're given. And hey, I love improv. We love improv, man. Right? That's the name of the game.
Us too, us too. Now, yeah, let's answer this one. This is for you, Ken. This is from Smith C. Ken, I saw you during the first UFC Manila here about 5 years ago. Now, are you a hardcore MMA fan? Hashtag Team Botido, hashtag Pata Team.
Well,
Please
Smith
answer.
C, thank you for that question. Please pick a team first, if hashtag Pata team or hashtag Team Botido, because I am torn which team are you going to be part in, because you need to get that bad boy elbow pads, right? So you have to
Yeah.
pick a team if I know the rules correctly. So pick a team first. But to answer your question, thank you for that. I not hardcore, but it was during the time Anderson Silva was reigning as middleweight champion, I believe. And I just whenever I watch an Anderson Silva match, I feel like I'm watching Dalsim in real life. He's
Yeah.
so unorthodox, and he's like he's like a video game character. He's mocking the opponent. He's literally gonna do this to you, like just have his arms loosened and hanging. He's gonna punch you, or not the punch, the front kick. That front kick that's gonna stun you. And yeah, man, he got me into it. But of course, besides Anderson Silva, I'm a huge fan of the Diaz brothers. Oh, there you go, freaking Alistair
That's
Overeem.
you
The
had
Wow.
wrestling, the
breakfast with
wrestling fan in
Alistair
me, bro.
Overeem.
The wrestling fan in me is like, I need to take a photo with Alistair Overeem wearing a Brock Lesnar shirt, like a real asshole.
True, true. And
But,
aside
yeah,
from
man.
that, you also had photos with Ariani Celeste, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm,
I also saw
yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir.
Man,
Of course, right? Giannis
you
Celeste and Red de la Cruz.
Red
Red.
Red De La Cruz. I was gonna say Oliero, but it's De La
I
Cruz.
know. I have another picture with him, but like that's a different story.
Yeah. Now, going to you, Jake. Man, did was Ken able to make you watch an MMA fight, or did he get you hooked to it somehow?
Uh, well, there was a time that we did watch this one like MMA fight in Venice Piazza. I
Oh my
think he remembers
god.
the story.
Yeah.
This is like an old story where like we watched that match. That was like I think that was my first and only ever live MMA event that I've ever watched. I'm not really a big MMA fan. I do respect them, their fight, their what's it called, their commitment to their craft to be able to like train months on end just for like possibly like a 30-second fight. So
True.
that is a very good commitment. And I know they also like wrestling, they also put their bodies on the line. So not really a huge MMA fan. I know about the Conor McGregors, I know about the Anderson Silvas, and of course the Brock Lesnar's. But in terms of like being a real fight fan and fight scientist about it, not really. I just know that just make sure you don't get hit in the face. That's it.
That's true. And another cool thing about the MMA scene is they started taking the pro wrestling promo side when they're doing their media stuff. So I think they got it. So it's always a very it's like give and take when it comes to both scenes.
All thanks to
Now,
Paul Heyman, right?
yeah, definitely. Now, speaking of you two, I mean, you guessed it in our podcast, but you guys have your own show, the PWOGs. Jake, could you please tell us, like, how did this happen, and what's the story behind this show?
Well, I think the best person to ask would be Ken because this was his brainchild. PWOG Live was his brainchild.
Oh, then all yours, Ken.
Thank you for the passing of torch. I don't know, like,
Hey,
well,
as much as I would like to tell the story, as much as you know, I'm a blabbermouth also. Like this is your story, man. Like PWG Live is your baby. As much as like
Oh,
we like to both take credit about it, but like PWG Live is Ken's baby, and he'll tell you why.
oh man, I appreciate that. You know why? Because of COVID-19, brothers. That's about it. No, no, like because of COVID-19, of course, and like just like when they came up with the social media sinister gimmick, um, I had to think of ways to stay not yeah, fine. Use the word relevant. Stay relevant, and at the same time, I just want to be productive. I don't want my wrestling career to just go blah, you know. And I'm thinking like, okay, so no one utilizes Instagram Live and or Instagram in general. And I love Instagram personally, and I love watching Instagram Live in general. So might as well do that and have my tag team partner, my tag amigo, my hashtag PWOG tag amigo Jake De Leon join with me, and let's try it out. We just needed this, not even the kayfabe platform, but just simply the platform to just keep our names out there and do our part, not just for us. Fine, it's doing great for us, but to also keep the Philippine wrestling scene, name out there. Not just Philippine Wrestling Revolution, but just the whole Philippine wrestling scene in general. Keep it out there, and this is our community service, if you will, as much the support or just the yeah, dude, just the service that we can provide as pro wrestlers locally in the Philippines.
yeah, that is true, and I think that's the same sentiment we shared. That's why we started this show because everybody needed that escape from whatever is going on. So you guys put some good guests. Now we'll talk about your guests, but let's answer this question from
Hmm.
Jack Garcia. Now that Frankie 13 is a free agent, do you think there's a possibility to recruit him as a PWOG? And this guy is hashtag Team Botido.
Hmm.
No, there you go.
Well, first of all, I didn't know that Frankie 13 was a free agent already, so that is surprising. You know, you learn a lot from in quarantine. There's a lot going on right now, but obviously Frankie has been there since the start. He actually is like a lot of people don't know. He is the person that was responsible for putting up the Facebook page that eventually became PWR. So he is OG, as OG would say, and I won't say never because he has also like we tell this story a million times. We told the story where everyone just bumped bumped in a boxing ring that was on cement. He was there with us, so he is an OG, as OG would say. But yeah, never say never. As long as if he works hard and like the stars align, why not? Why not? You can see how much he loves wrestling. You can see how much he works hard for it. And yeah, what do you think, Ken? What do you like? I'm still looking for Jay Sarah though. But obviously, like, what do you think about Frankie 13?
Absolutely. I shared this story before. Actually, just to correct you, it's not the or just the caption earlier. It's not the Peter Bear page, but rather the Philippine Wrestling Revolution
The group, yeah,
the Facebook
yeah.
group that he made, and he's actually the one who recruited me. So in one of those stories that I was able to share before in a different guesting, he's that person. Frankie 13 was the person who recruited me. He was the one who made me think because we went to the same high school together. He was the one who made me think na ano yan, ano na namang wrestling yan, nanggagaya lang yan sa WWE. That's almost like my exact words. And
Yeah.
lo and behold, the exact same thing I insult, it's the exact same thing I am defending, I am fighting for every single day, years later, until this very day. So, gotta watch what you say, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, dude, it's not really up to me as well. It's not really up to me. Um, why not? The more the merrier. And speaking of Frankie 13, he's an former AWGC Tag Team Champion.
Mm, yeah, that's true. That's
Oh,
true.
that's a groundbreaker. That's very OG as it gets, if you will, JDL. So I don't know. Hey, again, never say never. Hashtag never say
Never say
never.
never.
Yeah,
Hashtag team. Hashtag
Like Justin
otherwise.
Bieber, like
yeah,
never say never.
never say
Yeah.
never. I think his name was Justice Beaver in the
Uh,
Kayfabe Cafe podcast. But yeah, the cool thing about all wrestling promotions in the Philippines is that they listen to their fans. So the best way you could probably make it happen is go buy a ticket to watch PWR when they are allowed and chant whoever you want to see on the show. I think that's a safe thing to say, right?
CM Punk. Shit.
Why not, man? Why
CM
not?
Punk?
The budget for that, JDL?
No, it's not up to me anymore, man. But hey, if you want CM Punk, chant CM Punk.
Yeah, you could
Yeah,
chant
dude.
whoever. I mean, I'm sure the homecoming thing happened because of the voices of the audience.
Of
Now
course.
let's go back to the PWOG. Like, please tell us, how do you do your how's the behind the scenes stuff? Like, who chooses which guest? Do you guys have a list like, oy, sa akin lang tong guest na to, or do you guys both message one person and see who replies?
you wanna tell this story, Ken, or should I?
I could tell a part of it because I don't know what's your process.
Well,
He knows. He knows. Go, go, go.
my like okay, I'm gonna tell my process is I'm going to have like a plan in mind who my guest is for that week. So I'm gonna message them. I'm gonna hope they reply. But if they don't reply, I also like have my my backup guest, my follow up. Like I'm not gonna say who's who. Like I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
who's the backup
we
guest and
won't.
everything.
You don't need
But of
to.
course, like I'm more how do you say I'm more methodical in my approach when it comes to getting the guests. I'm trying to make sure that if ever I do get a guest on, I'm not their schedules aren't going to conflict or whatever. Ken though has a more interesting method than I.
Please,
Yeah,
Ken, share
dude.
us that method.
Well, just to add on to what JDL said, yeah, I would like to think my method is methodical as well. I mean,
No.
I think of the person I want to have as a guest, and I message them directly on Instagram or any other social media platform. And yeah, dude, just so much about that. And I do consider stuff too, like the schedule. Yeah, man, freaking I make sure it's morning there and it's afternoon, so there's time for them to read the message, or in the peak hour of the evening, and I go message. Um, yeah, dude, like my guests personally, at least on my end, they're the ones that either inspired me at one point, and they can be the most obscure guests. But you have to
Mm.
understand with me, especially with my collection, for example, a great metaphor right over here, it's a mix of everything. Just like the mix of personalities that I have on my side of the hashtag PWOG Life, mostly on
Mm.
Sundays. But if it had to be, it's gonna be on a Saturday day with my tag amigo, Jake De
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Leon.
Yeah, true. And we will be talking about guests more, but I think, Chola, there's a huge numbers of fan questions. Let's answer. This is from Martin A. Vicencio. Which tag team do you guys wish to face in the future, and why? Is it American males?
Who are American males? I'm not.
I
I'm not.
apologize for that. You know, who's American Male?
Well, maybe
Shout out to American.
you guys could give the name of a tag team that you guys want to immediately face.
Me, like off the top of my head, the horrors. The horrors. I will fight you again and again and again and again just to get that win back. Well, also I really want to face teams like Bad Company also in Thailand. That would be a great one. We would love to have a match with them. Onslaught, of course, we already faced off with Onslaught. Like that would be great. But like, if I had one team that I wanted to really face, like really really face, it's got to be FTR. I want to face
Oh,
FTR. I wanna see how badass those guys are and like up close and personal. How about you, Ken?
Man, are we shooting for the stars here or anything
Why
that's
not?
possible?
Why not? I already
yeah,
said
man.
FTR. I already said
Anything that's
FTR.
possible? I mean, like anything that's still possible, or just dream matches?
Well, let's
Dr-
go with someone that is still active.
Ken, all your
Okay.
dreams are possible, so just say anything.
Hey, hell yeah. Hashtag preach. I would have to say to make the most again something obscure. I'm gonna put it out there. The headbangers. I want to face the headbangers,
What?
right?
Yep. That is
And
possible. That
I
is
grew up in
That
the
possible.
attitude
is
era, man.
possible.
I grew up in the attitude era. I want to face the headbangers on top of my head. Anything dream match short of the new Heart Foundation or the Heart Foundation of MLW. It could be either Brian Pillman Jr. and Teddy Hart, or Teddy Hart
Mm.
and David Boy Smith Jr., or David Boy Smith Jr. and Brian Pillman Jr. One of them. And man, this is a tough one. fine Young Bucks, but like I don't think we could really hang with the Young Bucks.
No, we
They're
can
gonna
hang with the Young Bucks. We can hang with the Young Bucks. Don't sell yourself short, Ken. We can hang with the
I'm
Young
trying to
Bucks.
be humble here.
I
saying
mean,
But like
we'll probably get our teeth kicked in, but we can hang with the Young Bucks. Don't worry. Don't worry. We will hang by a
I
thread.
yeah, right. I was about to say like we would probably do better or like get better competition at least. And I'm being I don't know I'm being I saw myself self short here. The best
Oh,
friends,
I would love to fight the best friends. We
right?
Yeah.
are
You know,
also
like
best friends, Ken. That's like a dream match right there. I mean, they can hug and everything. Well, we can hug with them. We can just like not fight. We can just have beers. That's a great
True.
best friends match. We can have Jay Sarah over. They can have Orange Cassidy.
or Trent's mom, drop them off again.
Your mom will probably drop us off at the arena.
With her eyes closed because she doesn't want to watch wrestling. She doesn't want to see her baby boy get hurt. That's me.
Yeah.
I'm her Mick
Aw.
Foley. I'm her
Aw.
Mick Foley. And,
That's so
yeah, man, and
nice.
God. I couldn't forget God and extra talented. That's Ricky
Yeah,
Starks
yeah,
and
yeah.
Ian Solo.
There's a lot. There's a lot of
Now,
tag teams out there we would like to face. Like I would just say right now that I think Ken shares the same sentiment that I do. That we will fight all of them, no matter who.
yeah, I kind of like the headbangers because Mosh and Trasher has been, they represented a generation of streetwear and culture during the Attitude Era. So seeing the new breed and the old breed, do you guys want to see that headbangers versus PWOGs? Comment it down below. And Martin Vicencio followed up. American males are Buff
Buff
Bagwell and
Bagwell.
Scotty
Yeah.
Riggs.
Fight them. Let's fight Buff Bagwell and Scotty Riggs, American males.
Isn't I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Buff Bagwell is a gigolo right now. I'm not. Yeah.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard, dude.
Right? Right?
Yeah, he has to make towns eventually. Still.
Yeah.
Well, you know. Well,
Well, that's gonna be an interesting matchup if it happened, man. But
Magic
that's a
Mike
good-
route. Magic Mike route.
yeah. Imagine your entrances and their entrances. That's
Hmm.
gonna be crazy. Now, let's go back to your guest. Like, could you share us a funny or an interesting story on how you booked or one guest, the things that happened at the back? Because we have stories. I'd like to hear yours. Let's go with JDL first. I think Ken was.
I have to think about this one a little bit, but like, well,
Oh,
I have-
God.
It's a successful gigolo now.
well,
Buff Bagwell.
he's not just a gigolo; he is a successful gigolo. Good
True.
on you, Buff Bagwell. I mean,
Make
life
ends
after
meet.
wrestling, life after wrestling, and if you can be a successful gigolo, that's a dream right there. Anyway, back to the guest.
That dough.
I
Get
think-
that dough.
I think like Ken has funnier stories, but like I think mine, the most interesting story I have is like how I actually got Colt Cabana, because like as Ken mentioned, we definitely just like shoot our shot, like try to reach for the stars, shot in the dark, everything, because we also like thought that okay, these guys are also under quarantine or like they're not too busy right now because of everything going on. So I just decided we both decided to like message as many people as we could. Looking at you, John Cena, Undertaker, Batista, that still haven't gotten back to us. But I was very surprised at Colt Cabana because Colt Cabana is really one of my heroes in wrestling because he has this style of wrestling which is very akin to the British style, and I'm also a very big fan of comedy wrestling, which Colt Cabana is great at. So he was one of my inspirations. Like as I was going through wrestling, I didn't really know about him when I was like younger. But like when I started wrestling and like learning more, that he's one of the guys that inspired me. If you see how I always have my smile up and then how I always
Yeah.
like do that funny pose like that, that's because of Colt Cabana. He's been one of my inspirations, and he mentioned this on the show. Like if you go on my YouTube, youtube.com, well, just look for Jake De Leon and then watch that episode back. Colt Cabana actually mentioned that he just had this feeling that he doesn't really take these interviews that much. Because there was like, after looking through Twitter, there was one dude that tweeted that he messaged Colt Cabana for an interview and then Colt Cabana just saw it, like didn't really get back to him. But I was surprised, like why would he go on an interview with a couple of dudes from the Philippines, like that don't really have a huge following? So he just mentioned that he saw that drive in him, that because he's one of the pioneers of like indie wrestling, making it cool and everything. So I guess he just saw that thing that he did back then in us. So that was very heartwarming for me, and like it was, it was like the best birthday weekend ever for me.
Yeah, and belated happy birthday to you, bro,
Thank
because
you.
that was a good gift, man. That was a good gift indeed. Now, speaking of that, like Ken, could you share with us some interesting stories when it comes to getting a guest for your show?
Oh, you mean every time?
It's
No,
always
well,
an adventure with Ken. It's always an
that's real
adventure.
talk, dude. That's real talk. I've had, I've had guestings before. I've had bookings, quote unquote, before of guests, wherein it's 3 days before my turn, before Sunday, 3 days before Sunday. This month, this month, people don't know this. Only my tag amigo knows this, and my family, and the Carl who helps us moderate, my little brother. He's here outside, literally. I'm looking at him. Um,
So, Carl.
yes, the Carl. Shout out to him. He's not moderating right now, but he's just outside. But there you go. Man, well, where was I going with that? Oh, uh, how would you say? I don't know where I was going with that, but like, freaking, every time I try to get a guess, oh, there you go. I got a guess for this month 3 weeks in advance. I didn't have to worry about it. When every
Mhm.
other week I'm the one most stressed out, it's always JDL who has this methodical approach. I had a methodical approach to think of the person and message the person, and
Like, well, you
who
think
always
of the
gets
person,
in
and
early.
you think of like five people, and then message all five of them, and then you're in danger of like booking yourself five interviews in one weekend. So Ken, that's not really methodical in my opinion.
Hey man, I'm shooting for the stars. I'm being practical as well. If all of them
That's true. That's
replies,
true.
good. There's always there's so much Sunday
True.
in a month. So much Sunday in a month. They can always get next month. I can always
That's true.
ask. Or do a Saturday, right?
That's
But
true. That's
for my end, bro, like freaking yeah, dude. Like first, I'm proud of myself, not to pat myself on the back here live for getting a booking 3 weeks in advance. So it's like
yep.
it's the second week right now. But yeah, dude, for guests, I have to think of one specific guest, right?
Oh, you could like go
Like
and like be general about
I
it.
have a lot of stories, Ken. Actually, like if I can just while you're thinking of that guest or like
Sure.
that story, like Paolo mentioned earlier, like he's not sure if you're still the social media sinister. Why don't we change your moniker to hashtag technically difficult because of all the technical difficulties we've had
Yeah.
with.
That
Yeah.
sounds that sounds so handicapped, and not nothing against handicap. That sounds so. No, you know what? I could be social media sinister because when I say this statement, you can take it any other way. I'm
That's true.
bad at I'm bad at social media anyway. So take it any other way. It's how do you take it? But yeah, dude, okay, one guess top of my head right now would have to be Jake Cuenca. Because when I tag him, when J Dale used to do the questions on his Instagram stories, who do you want as guests? I
I
just
only did
tagged
that
him
once.
like right
Yeah.
twice, I think. And like when he did that, I was like, why don't we tag him? He wasn't tagged, so he wouldn't know. Then when we tagged him, the very moment I tagged him, maybe let's say a few minutes later, he replied, "Let's do it," or "Let's go, bro."
Oh,
Yep.
What? And he was my first guest. That was episode 3. And I'm like,
yeah.
and you have to understand, fellas, like, and the hard work, the type of work we get into, Paolo, Cholo, uh, JDL knows this hard work, man. If someone really famous, especially locally, is your
Mm.
guest,
Mm.
and they have like, I don't know, for Jake Cuenca, he has like 1 million followers on Instagram. Don't be disheartened if he doesn't see your reply immediately. Because again, he has 1 million followers.
That is true.
So
That
you
is
have
true.
a little more understanding to the point that, yeah, maybe he won't reply today, but he did say 2 days earlier he was up to do the show. He's
Yeah.
trying to message again.
Yo,
So
I could
I kept at it, man.
I could feel your anxiety like leading up to Sunday because we like that was also the same way that we got Falaba for episode 2. But like Falaba was replying to me. Jake Cuenca was like, oh, is he? Are we sure for Sunday? And then lo and behold, it happened. That was amazing for me too. Like,
And
I was feeling.
can I add on to that? Like that was also like the month of April Fools, or like days before or after April Fools. So like, if I post this, is it really safe for the credibility of the show? Episode 3. If I put on someone like Jay Cuenca on the program, the hashtag virtual poster, and if he's really game, can we pull this off? Like, I'm
Yeah.
just being practical, bro.
Yep.
I mean, I'd like to add to that. Like, if the PWOGs were like the counterpart of Fight Sport Manila, Jake De Leon would be Cholo, Ken Warren would be me, because I message 20 people every Sunday. Like
That's
20
very
names.
sure.
Then Cholo, he has his connections with his friends. That's why he gets most of the local names and stuff. There's a photo of Jay Cuenca. So one funny thing is during our Independence Day episode, that is the result of messaging 20 names in one weekend, and man, we loved it. It's really fun, but we were surprised, and it was a crazy story because uh, two of the guests are the Team Lakay champions, Edward Fulayang and Joshua Pasio. And it was brownout in Baguio when we were already done with the first guest. So we were frantic backstage and we didn't know how to do. But thank God that the lights went up, and those two guests are like they are the class act, and we're very happy. Now, do you guys have a story wherein, and I also get what Ken is doing. I'm the anxious one because especially sa mga foreign guest, minsan pag nagpa-follow up ka, emoji lang yung ire-reply eh. Meron nga isa nag-reply sa amin, apoy lang. Okay. Oo, ganun. Sabi ko, is that a yes? Is that
Oh yeah, man.
yung iba, apoy lang. Yung iba, feeling ko kung ano lang makuha nilang emoji. Ang haba, sir, this is our time, blah, 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 blah. Tapos biglang, fire. O, ganun. Ganun. I'm like, is he going? So, usually,
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry to cut you off, but like, to add on to that, yung pinaka isa pang, I can curse her anyway, right? Like, yung
yeah,
nakakagago,
man.
pinaka nakakagago dun, man. Like, all of the things you said, the reminders, a lot of questions, either okay or it's a freaking scene zone. That's what
Yeah,
kills me, man. Like, why? You just said okay. I thought we were agreeing on a time. Like, I'm just asking for the time, man. Like, stuff like
true.
that.
True. This is a fun conversation, but let's include the fans in it. Smith C. He has one question and two answer from you guys. How do you deal with the question "wrestling is fake" and two hashtags this time? Team Botido Pata Team. I think Ken answered that in our interview, but let's start with JDL first, since it's the first time we're going to ask him that.
Just chop them. Give them a body slam. See if they still think it's fake. Well, honestly, it's a huge stigma right now, but also you got to understand that the veil has been pulled back so much that there's still a lot in wrestling that people don't see. So as much as we can, keep it behind closed doors, we will. But if people just come up to you and say wrestling is fake, I would politely ask them, okay, you want to take a wrestling move right now? And if they say yes, do it. If they say no, oh, okay, so you still think it's fake. Like, call them out on their shit, stuff like that.
How about you, Ken?
I'll just reverse my answer. So the first time I said the movies answer. Right now I'm gonna do the second one. So if you guys think wrestling is fake, please, 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 because my understanding of the word fake, you're not supposed to get hurt. I mean, that's my definition ever since high school. You're not supposed to get hurt when it's fake. Okay. Uh, please, by all means, if PWR bootcamp opens up, please join. You know what? I I don't want to get a free trial, but like just please join. You are more than welcome to join the PWR bootcamp. And if we see you next week, okay, you probably understand the answer. If we don't see you the following week, okay, I guess you finally know the answer. My second answer before was like, are movies real?
Hmm.
You answer that question for me, please. So that's my answer.
I'd like to add on to that, and this is probably Ken who should tell that story. But I watched the Al Snow episode, and meron siyang sinabi na parang may light bulb. Sabi, if you think wrestling is fake, why do we get anxious when we see a Keith Lee versus Adam Cole match? If you think that it's fake, why are we so invested in it? Why do we buy a ticket? Why is there a referee, and why are there commentators? If it's fake, like why do they need to say something that's fake? I mean, that's a good episode, by the way, bro.
Thank you for checking out that episode, bro. But to add on to what you said, you know what? I have a new answer now.
Okay, go
Why
on.
in asking the question, why is wrestling fake? Are you doubting that it could not be?
Ah, that's a smart. That's a good reverse psychology move there, man. Now, but again, guys, like whatever your idea of wrestling is, watch a pro wrestling show dito sa Philippines. I assure you and I guarantee you, mas sobrang ganda na nung product nila compared sa nakikita nyo sa YouTube. And yung audience, the audience sound, I think it was best captured nung Homecoming, but the YouTube videos, they don't do justice on how loud that Power Max Center goes whenever matches happen.
Guys, move on na sa 2014 version ng
Hmm.
PWR. Please, hindi na po 2014. As much as we appreciate you guys watching the 2014 ones and putting on the comments section, mag-artista na lang kayo, ganon, stuff like that, or not convincing, please, add 6 more years, add 5 more years to the content you're watching online, and please take a chance on the product. You don't even have to like it. You don't have to respect it. Just accept it. You know.
Yeah. And guys, just for those who don't know, these two wrestlers here were invited by the WWE to try out. So if you think they are subpar, man, will the WWE invite them? We'll talk about that in a bit, man. But I think we got some fan questions. Let's go with that, Charlo, because I think we've been neglecting the fans with all the fun stuff we're doing.
Sorry,
What's your
fans.
favorite wrestling theme song from Martin?
You mean besides Sinister Senorito by
Oh yeah, that was
Sunnyside Sound Productions with Nino, Scarly, Roberto Senya from She's Only 16, and Jula Agbayani.
It's
Well,
available on Spotify.
available on Spotify, still up there. Mm, out of all the wrestling songs, I would still have to say the thing that like the song that really gets me like going. There are two of them. It's Stone Cold's Glass Shattering, and then it's his BMF walk going down to the ring, and of course Shawn Michaels' theme song. You can't really go wrong with that.
And how about you, Ken?
I would go with the Shawn Michaels theme song as well, but the one with Sensational Sherry. As
Mm.
to this very day, that's still my alarm clock theme song,
I,
if you
I
will.
I would know like every morning at the WWE tryout that would be the alarm clock that I hear every morning.
And you know why? And you know
Why?
why you wake up from that alarm clock? Have you
it's,
heard the
it's
start of that song?
it's sensational,
Yeah.
Sherry. Yeah, of course.
Right? But like that's the start of the song. On top of her lungs, she would scream, "Oh, Sean!" It's like, and the very morning, you hear that at 4 a.m., 5:50. That one, that freaking one. Search that one, that version of the
Check
Shawn
it out.
Michaels "Sexy Boy" theme song. Check it out. It's gonna wake you up, no matter how tired you are. Well, I got used to it already, but wakes me up still to this very day when I'm not that tired. And go with, of course, wala, parang nagsawa na yung pandinig ko dito, but like the Break It Down, the Generation X
Oh,
theme song,
Mm,
very iconic. And there are a lot
yeah.
nowadays. I would have to go Here to Show the World as well. Because that, in a different way, at one point in my life, whenever I hear that theme song, even before the Money in the Bank cash in of Dolph Ziggler, that song was like, yeah, I'm here to show the world it's possible. Whatever you want to do, you're a college student, you're chasing to be a wrestler. You want to make it to the WWE. We haven't made it to the WWE yet, but like you want to, let them know you exist as a performer, as a wrestler. Ah, chip on your shoulder, indeed.
Well, I'd like to add to that. If late ka sa work, you try to, like, kunya nasa MRT ka pa lang, tas late ka sa work, tas lalakarin mo, tatakbo yung, pakinggan mo yung old school theme song ni Shinsuke Nakamura. Like, the first
Yeah.
theme song I did sa WWE, you will run fast. That's a good pumping song, especially the violin part.
Mm.
Yes, sir.
The new one, I don't like much. The one where
The rap,
apparently,
the
yeah,
rap one. Yeah.
yeah, the
Hey,
one
that's
says
that's pretty good. Why? Why? If I may ask, why?
I like the
Well,
old. I like the instrumental more. That's pretty much it.
yeah,
Mm.
same here. Like I just really like the violins more, and it felt more New Japan to me.
True, true. Now,
Mhm,
speaking of
yeah.
you guys, again, you've been given a tryout to the WWE. For those who are meeting you for the first time, could you like give them a rundown on the experience? Let's go with you again, Ken, because Jake De Leon talked about this in our interview. I want to hear your side first.
Oh man, it's to summarize everything, but I'm gonna explain it too. This is the closest thing I will become a robot and a super soldier, like legit. I say that because you have to be a machine to survive that. To say the least, our favorite, at least my favorite workout was the squats. That's about it. The squats, and squats is my favorite. Even the sitting squats, uh,
Mm.
by the wall sit, and promos. Those were my favorite stuff to do. Everything else was hell, dude. Everything else was hell. Freaking A, man.
Yeah,
I
and
still
shout
hate
out
that picture.
to
I still hate
Crystal
that
that she
picture
was
so
part
much.
of
You hate that picture? My freaking
No,
face. I
look
was
at that
from the
face.
really back, dude.
that.
Look at my
Oh,
face, man. Like they could have used a better one. I'm just saying.
No, I think this was
well,
only available on day two. I think.
yeah.
Day
Probably,
two.
And
probably, yeah.
I'm sure anyone who wants to be in the WWE would rather have that photo than none at all. And they would
Hell yeah.
they would
Yeah, yeah,
Google,
that's
they would
true.
check you on IG naman and see, ay, hindi pala ganun yung itsura niya. So it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. How about you, JDL? Please
Mm,
tell it again.
I've said this before. I'll say it again. It was definitely the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. In terms of wrestling, it was basically just 4 days of like pushing you to the limit, checking your skills, making sure like to see what your breaking point is. They really do try to break you. They, it's a weird irony that they want to break you, but they're also like motivating you to do your best. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? So like, you really just push yourself, and the atmosphere being there with a lot of like 40 other different amazing athletes from all over Asia. It was a very great experience. And obviously, like you see a WWE ring for the first time, get to step in it. That's a whole different feeling in itself. Like just being in that atmosphere that this is like one of the goals in professional wrestling that you want to reach, and being there, actually trying to giving your best. Yeah, like there's nothing like it. There's a lot more stories, like like, yeah, you see the China tryout 2019. I was finally able to post because like we were very hush hush about it. We did not tell a
Wasn't
lot of people
posting.
about it.
I wasn't posting, man. Freaking A.
I was like just
And he
itching
was
to
the
tell people.
social media citizen.
I was itching to tell people about it. We were very like hush hush about it. But yeah, like it was just great being there, the experience, getting to see a lot of different other athletes like us, and also getting to talk to people like the coaches like Robbie Brookside, Serena Deeb, Matt Bloom, of course, and talking with a lot of other NXT superstars like Kona Reeves, Reina Gonzalez, Boa, Rocky, and of course Xylee. Like it was just great. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
How does that work? Did they give you detailed explanations on how you performed an exercise or a move, or did they just give general ones to the whole people training?
I
Let's
think.
start with you, Ken.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you, JD.
No, okay, sorry. All right. Well, for me, like it was they obviously they'll like if they see that you're struggling, they'll bring you aside and obviously talk to you also. But I think they also really like the fact that like if you took initiative, like if you really wanted to ask them like, hey sir, how am I doing? Ma'am, how am I doing here? Like they really want to see how much you want to learn. And I think it was just like, just getting I'm so nakikilig pa rin ako like talking about it, like talking with people like Robbie Brookside, asking them for advice on how to do things better. Obviously, that was like a highlight for me, and like they would tell you generally like they love the atmosphere of the people, like not giving up, always like pushing each other to the limit. But also they will also like help you out. Like if you're struggling, they will help you out. It's not like they would shun you for not knowing like a skill or a move, or like having to take a pause because you're overworking yourself. They're there to help you out also. As much as they want to break you, they're also there to push you to your limits. That's why they want to break you, because it's not to break you down, it's to break you through your limits.
And yeah, to Ken, my specific question for you, man, is were they able to give you feedback on your promo skills? Because I'd say that's one of your strongest suits. So how did it go, man?
Hey man, this is it, brother. This is it. All this was the voice and everything, the confidence,
Mr.
but the
Mr.
height, not
Hashtag
everything.
that.
Mr. Hashtag Conor Reeves used to call me that.
The
Mr. Hashtag.
hashtag.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, man, freaking. How would you say, bro? Did they commend anything? I feel like the most pat on the back, for a lack of a better term, they would do for you is after every training day they would have you do media. I don't know if JDL noticed that. I noticed it on my good days. Like I felt like I killed it today. I was very loud. I was very loud, and I wasn't giving up, and I was loud. I felt like that days they're gonna ask like, yeah, bros. Well, can we take a video of you? And it's just, if if I can regret something, it's just me just being, yeah, I'm like happy to be here. I didn't say I'm happy to be here, but like I was, whenever they're gonna ask me a question, I'm gonna give a short but sweet answer. I felt like that was the perfect time to unleash, man. And
Could have
and
been, man.
right, and I was like, I didn't want to say I studied everything. I've been watching everything on YouTube ever since all the trials I see on YouTube. I get intimidated, and like this is what you guys do, and I can't believe I can actually uh withstand this, for a lack of a better term. But what I would say something like, yeah, this is one of the hardest, and I was trying to be calm when I'm not naturally calm,
Oh
and I
man.
was like, oh damn it, Ken.
Yo,
But the ultimate word would be, I guess, would be test, because they to add on to what JDL was saying earlier, they're gonna tell you everything. And I love what he
mm,
said that towards the end though. I just have to say that before I forget. But uh they're gonna tell you everything. Now it's up to you if you're gonna do it, because they told you everything to do.
mm,
They want you to stay true to yourself, as truthfully as you can, as much as possible. And keep in mind, they told you everything to do. Question is, are you gonna do it because you know that's what you need to do, or that's what naturally you're gonna do on certain situations?
mm, yeah.
That's a
That's what's
cool.
been happening every day.
Yeah, that's a cool point, man. Since there, I mean, if you would read the news sites, some of the comments regarding the WWE is that they are like fabricating or making their wrestlers into their image and likeness or how they want it. But from you yourself, you're saying that they're allowing you to be as free as you want, but they are giving you the advices that they want to see.
And just to add on the thing that Ken mentioned about the interviews and stuff, Ken, we also kind of like did a better interview like together, like the one with
I
yo, that
blame
was us.
you. I blame
What
you where we're a
what,
tag team.
what?
Explain to
Why do
them.
you
I
blame
blame
me?
you. I
Yeah,
blame you. I
explain that,
was
man.
never
I think
so fast,
everyone deserves to hear.
What deserves? Oh well, the thing is like, all right, I think there was a second or third day that because people media come into the training center and then like talk to people, and then there are certain people that they have their eyes on, guys like Trexus, people like Crystal, and of course Ken and I were trying to ham it up because like we wanted to be on the camera too, because that's how they notice you. So I was like, "Say Ken, let's just stay on the floor. Let's see what happens." And then there was this one like the media crew that came up to us, like a guy named Neil, and then he really saw how like we were friends and everything. So we were just like hamming it up and everything. And I think this is what was part of the reason why Ken blames me for the PWGs happening, is because I think they saw how close we were, how we had a friendship, and we had chemistry. We can click. Up till now, we have chemistry, Ken. You just don't understand why, but it's there. You can't deny it. You can't deny it, brother.
Yeah, that's true, man. Like, I mean, I'm happy you guys are a tag team because at least if pupunta kayo sa ibang bansa, they would see two of the best, instead of you going your own solo tours over Asia. Chol, I've been reading some fan questions. Could you flash one? I think that was from there, Linus.
Mm.
To JDL, during the WWE tryouts, who did you get to be close with aside from Kenwa?
Well, we got really close with a lot of the Southeast Asian guys. So like guys from Hong Kong, guys from Thailand, from Singapore. So that was like the time that we got close to guys like Andrew Tang and Trexus, obviously, and also Alexis Lee. Pumi, of course, who is the co-founder of Setup Thailand Pro Wrestling and Bad Company also. Um, yeah, and also Hong Kong, we hung out with Ho Ho Lun and a lot of guys also from different places. But
Titan Z,
um,
Titan Z.
Titan Z, yeah, Titan Z. Like, because we all were in the same hotel, so we would have breakfast before the training starts. So we would go to the hotel, like restaurant or the buffet, and then obviously you would be sitting there with people. Like you didn't want to just sit as much as you wanted to sit with like the same group of people that you did. We also wanted to make new friends because obviously we wanna make more connections. So we sat with people like Titan Z, as Ken mentioned, with Ho Ho Lun. We also sat with oh my god, I forgot his name. Ikemenjiro from Japan. So that was cool, like meeting Ikemenjiro, because like I've been a fan of his work, and he was also here in the Philippines for in 2014 for Joshi Jam with Tajiri's promotion. So it was cool to like remind him of it and like, yo, we watched you back in 2014 here in the Philippines, and now we're in the same WWE tryout as you. So that's crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Joshi and Jam, I don't know if you guys know, one of the members of Fight Sport Manila, Ken Sarmiento, was part of the PWR team. I think he knows
Ooh.
you guys, but with your like real names, for lack.
Oh, okay.
He does the MMA stuff now, right?
Yeah, he worked. He handles some stuff with us, and I think he's in the stream if I'm not mistaken. But is moderating the questions from the fans. Now,
Regards, bro.
yeah, what's up, Ken? And let's go back to the PWOG because this is a lot of things that you guys should know. Ken, I've seen a lot of technical difficulties. Ano nararamdaman mo when that happens?
Baba na. But it test my bro again, bro. I love improv. If any, what prepared me for WWE is stuff like that, dude. What's gonna happen if there's no volume? Of course, you make a new life and
Mm.
hope to God the guest is available to still continue the show.
Mm.
What's gonna happen if the guest is not yet on? Well, we did learn not to go on live anymore when the guest is not on because we had one episode wherein the guest was super late, but I forgot to watch I forgot to watch a guesting of his, if you will, and it happened the same thing. So like I didn't. Hey, again, I'm a grateful person. I don't want to feel like I'm entitled to something. He said yes. I understand that he made a commitment to some extent, but hey, man, like that's him acknowledging us being game to be on is more than enough for me. So if he was late, being a person who knows a lot about being late, circa high school days, circa
Mm.
college days, circa work. I
Circa
can't
PWR.
circa PWR, right? So this
Circle
is how we
WWE
feel.
tryout.
Hey, no, sort of, but no,
You
except
almost
for
missed the
that.
flight.
Yeah, I've listened to that podcast.
No, I was getting my hair cut. I was anxious. A lot of anyway. You don't know what goes in his head. um, yes, and yes, and yeah, dude. Like if those stuff don't happen to us, I wouldn't be who I am right now. I wouldn't be game for almost everything related to wrestling. That's gonna be put in my way to make things happen. I'm a go-getter, and that sounds so like I'm patting myself on the back, but like I'm a go-getter. That's one thing to describe me. You tell me something that it can't happen, it's not possible. Give me a few more minutes, give me a few hours, give me a few days, a year, a month. I'll figure something out. I'll make it happen.
Yeah, that is true. And for all you guys who are watching, we are doing our best to give you the best guest. But at the same time, you have to understand we're not paying them. So parang nakikiusap lang kami. And it's normal na sometimes they don't show up. Like we had guests na we're just waiting for a date, then suddenly they stop talking to us, and I'm sure you may have experienced one or two, but you shouldn't feel bad about it because probably they are busy. Syempre, if it's like a family bonding over a podcast with people that you don't know, I'm sure you'll always pick the family, and that is how it goes. But how about you, JDL? Your streams seem to be more less probably than
Ah,
Ken.
dang, Paolo.
Well, it's been more recently that I've been getting a little bit of technical difficulties. Also, like my internet has been acting up a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not my when it comes to my IG, like I'm not as adventurous as Ken's because Ken's has the thing where he has the picture on the background.
Yeah,
I can't really do that because of my device limitations. But I guess it's just the grace of whatever IG live gods there are that was happening. And you gotta admit though, like IG live has been learning a lot because of this quarantine because a lot of people are going on IG live. A lot of people are like making quick content and everything, and they got to thank the PWOGs in particular because we've been doing this for a long time. We're hitting our 30th and 31st guests this weekend. So you're welcome IG live for the data, for the feedback, for us messaging you to give back an IG live video that we lost of Ricky Starks. But
Hey, why'd you
things
remind
happen.
people of that? Damn it.
Things happen and we get better, we grow, and that's part of it. Like we never really went into wrestling knowing that we would like become pseudo journalists or anything or interviewers, and now we are. And then that's just what wrestling is. You evolve with the times, you try to adapt as much as possible, and that's how PWOG Live was born.
yeah, and Fight Sport Manila would like to thank you guys because we got inspiration from both of you for our guest. Because usually when it comes to a pro wrestling scene or an MMA scene, you would always want the big names, but you have to realize sometimes. I mean, most of the time, it's hard to
Mm.
contact a Batista or John Cena. But you guys, those niche guests that
Mm.
people would love and mark out for. Pero alam mo yun, it's still good content. And speaking of good content, JDL, you made some good one with Moonshine, if I'm not
Mm.
mistaken, if that
Yeah.
is her name. That what made you do those kinds of episodes? Because syempre ngayon napaka
Mm.
vital ng ganong klaseng content eh.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I got episodes with guys like Moonshine and Bieberes and like, it's with Moonshine in particular, I really am like a strong advocate for mental health because I've been going through a lot of it like recently also. So
We all are.
content like that I feel is not seen as often. Yeah, especially in this quarantine, we're all going through something. So like content like that is not seen or felt as often and not talked about as much because we grew up in a patriarchal system that doesn't really like talking about feelings or like showing emotions, and that's something that we have to destroy. So with Moonshine, I was able to like obviously see my past experiences and like feel like okay, there's something that I have to do. So mental health is really important to me, and that's why I felt that okay, during this quarantine we really need to talk about it, and that's why those happened. And I'm really looking forward to more episodes like that, not just with Moonshine, but like with every guest that I have, because that's the reason why also with every guest that I have, my last question will always be, what is the biggest lesson in life that you've learned so far? Because selfishly, it's also for me because I like learning about lessons and like learning from a lot of people. But like for the people who are watching it, like if they have, I'm pretty sure that everyone who is going through this life each person has their own story, and also at the same time they have their own lessons that they've learned. That if you just listen to them, if they tell you about that lesson they've learned, I'm pretty sure you'll learn something also. And so far with the how many guests that I've had recently, I've always learned at least one thing from them, and that is, how to be nice, or like bringing positivity into the world, stuff like that. And it's not it's the wrestling stuff is great, but like I'm also looking for the real life stuff that people will learn from, because let's face it, not everyone who's following me might be a wrestling fan, but if they watch this episode with a Moonshine, or if they watch this episode with a Bibo Reyes, at least they will learn one thing from these guests that have their own story and have their own life experience to share.
Yeah, shout outs to Bibo, the homie. Yeah, that's a really good thing, Jake, kasi I think especially during this time, there are some things that you realize na back then in terms of mental health, na some traditions or some culture na akala mo okay lang, then you realize it's not the
Yeah.
best thing after all. But it's good that you yourself are responsible enough, especially if we have friends who are going through something. As a friend, we would want to make them feel better, but maybe we are saying the wrong things, like kaya mo yan, malalagpasan, when
Yeah.
in fact listen and let them verbalize things, or put them direct them to the right person. And that's really one of the cool things about your podcast, your episodes, that I really want to thank you for, because I myself learned a lot, especially with what's going on in our world right now. And to you,
Yeah.
Ken, man, you got Ramon Bautista. That's like one of the coolest. How did that happen?
It's the same thing how I got Jake. It's one of those times, the only two times JDL did that question on his IG stories, and he wasn't able to mention Ramon Bautista. So I was like, "Man, we're trying to get guests. Let's tag the actual person." So I added that story to my IG live story, IG stories. I tagged Ramon Bautista. Funny thing is, he saw it the exact same night.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's just scene zone it. Like there's a scene zone. So I was like to JDL, like, yeah, I don't think he's interested. And the
Yeah.
very next day, he replied, Tara, bro, ayos yun ah. So, or something in the lines of that. Like, what? He's game, bro. I have guests with me. So I didn't have to look anymore. That was pretty early on. And just the high school version of me, you have to understand that the guests I get, they I look up to them to some extent at one point in my life. Yes, I was a fan of Jake Cuenca. Yes, I was a fan of Ramon Bautista. Uh, yes, I'm a fan of Connor from the Ascension. Yes, I'm a fan of Zicky Dice. Stuff like that. Um, and me being able to get guests actually like have them on my version of the hashtag PWOG live. It's surreal because I actually mentioned in the very first episode when it's just me and JDL doing the verbal sparring, if you will. We're not talking
Yeah.
about hashtag Team Butido or hashtag Pata Team, but we were talking about like what's the show is about, why did we make PWOG hashtag PWOG live. Uh, I actually mentioned Ricky Starks and Brian Pillman Jr. as my dream opponent for this year. And I actually got them. I was able to say to Ricky Starks, Brian Pillman Jr., there was a lot of technical difficulties. I wasn't able to say it because I was saving it for the end, and it happened towards the end, so I wasn't able to say it. But like, hey, Brian Pillman Jr., BPJ, brother, if ever you get to watch, just get somehow, watch this video, watch this clip, cut and everything. You are one of my dream matches to have as well. So that blows my mind. And before I forget, because like a lot of things are in my head right now, Paulo, I just have to commend you. I just want to get your feedback on this. It's crazy that it's the badasses who reply, right? Freaking
Yeah.
Mark on Chris Lehman. He does
Yeah.
guess things like he could kick your ass, man. So like those are the things that would surprise me. Like he replied, Connor of the Ascension replied. Someone is like, I feel like this dude's gonna kick my ass, man. But he replied, and he's actually pretty nice. So that's another lesson of you can't judge a book by its cover. You really wouldn't know unless you try. As cheesy as that may sound.
Yeah, man. I want to do a quick story about that Chris Lieben episode. He agreed before, but I think during that time, kasi he was doing stuff for his refereeing. Then we just messaged him like a few days before, after his retirement. So we did the episode 3 a.m. in a private group. Na that's the group where we plan to air our shows kung mga like Colt Caban or the past 12 kasi pag dito for sure tulog na yung mga tao eh. So we want to give the guys a special sneak preview. The cool thing about it is that and I'm sure you guys experience it, is after the show, when the guest talks to you, especially Chris Lieben, he told us that that's one of his most favorite interviews, in the mere fact that we didn't talk about his past.
Mm.
And JDL, if you didn't know, his past was crazy. You could check it out. I don't want to say it on air, but
All right, no
and
worries.
that's a good thing because we also help the people, the fighter. Na we don't need to always talk about those bad days. We could talk about these cool things you're doing right now, and I think at the same time they appreciate it. Kasi I mean, I'm sure hindi lang naman tayo yung na mess up sa quarantine na to eh. I'm sure they are too. So it's best that we spread positivity all throughout. And with that, guys, I mean, JDL, you have Shaukat. Is this tomorrow? And you have Bogart, Bogart the Explorer, Ken Warren. Let's start with you, JDL. Come on, plug that show.
Well, tomorrow, it's going to be at 9 p.m. Philippine time. Obviously, we're the same time zone as Malaysia. So tomorrow, I will be having Shaukat, the founder and head coach of Malaysia Pro Wrestling. Also, he's the Prophet of Pain. I have had matches with him in the past. So we're going to be talking about, because recently Malaysia has already recognized pro wrestling as a sport, as an official competition. So I wanted to talk to him about that. Also, it has been announced that he is going to be wrestling, making his American debut over with Reality of Wrestling, which is the promotion that Booker T runs and also the school that he runs. So it's going to be an interesting talk, and just to catch up with old friends because it's been over a year since we saw each other. Just the same thing as I did with Dr. Gore. So it's just going to be a fun, lighthearted show we've been trying to do. So please come join us over at my Instagram at Senorito JDL. You can see it here over at 9 p.m. And yeah, just if you have any questions for Shaukat or for me, just let us know. Ken, you wanna
We'll
you wanna plug your
definitely
stuff?
be there, and you can. I think
Absolutely. Well, for my end,
the
after
second time, you're gonna make this happen.
right, look at my caption. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Brothers, please, ladies and gentlemen, if you have the time on a Sunday, I know it's family day, but what better family entertainment, the hashtag PWOGs of Philippine Wrestling Revolution or PWR can provide through the means of Instagram Live or hashtag PWOG Live than a Sunday night treat with the one and only OG Filipino YouTuber, the Explorer from down under Davao City, uh, Bogart the Explorer. So, man, I'm a huge fan. I'm excited for this guesting of his because not a lot of people know. We used to be we used to be neighbors to the extent that we
Wow,
used to be in the same building,
cool.
but I never got to talk to him because I'm such a fan of him, man.
By the
Like,
way, everyone who is here, everyone who in the comment section, please ask Ken to do an Australian accent on Sunday. Please ask Ken to do an Australian accent on Sunday with Bogart the Explorer. I would really love to
Yes,
see that.
please do.
that's not my gimmick. Nivya Sogal pa shoutout naman dyan. That's not my gimmick. Nivya Sogal, do you look like that's my gimmick? That's not my gimmick, dude. So
Bogart
I
doesn't
don't.
look Australian. He does an Australian accent.
Yeah, but that's his gimmick. You know what I'm saying? But I can try. I can try. But I'm just
You
excited.
can do a British accent.
British, I can try. Hey, my favorite band's the 1975, and they are a British band. So
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know. I could try. But there you go. At 8 p.m. Sunday, July 12th, on Instagram.com/, the Ken Warren, the with TheKenWarren, on Sunday. Please check it out if you have the time. And man, what else? Just like if we can promote our stuff, stream sessions.live, hashtag PW Homecoming is live
Of
on
course.
demand still
And of
for the
course, you
very
can
reasonable price of
still
500 pesos.
And you can
July
also
31.
support our frontliners if you buy a PWR Mabuhay and Wrestling shirt over at tictome.net. It's also 500 pesos, and part of the proceeds will go to our frontliners fighting COVID-19, obviously. And yeah, you can get a brand spanking new PWR Mabuhay and Wrestling shirt on top of that. So please continue to support as much as you can. And as much, I just like to say also, thank you to everyone who has been supporting hashtag PWOG Live since we started. We didn't really know like we would be doing this 30 episodes down the line, but thank you to everyone, and we're just having fun, and we hope you have fun along with us.
Now, before we draw the winners of the raffle, I'd like to ask both of you, once everything goes back to normal, once you are going physically to work or once you guys are wrestling, do you still plan to continue the PWOG shows? Let's start with you, Ken.
Hey man, yes. I mean, it's not just because what it's what bonded us actually. Like one of the bonds that, despite the distance, we're actually bonding because of that. So I wouldn't want to lose that. And we got to know of each other more. So that's something special to me too. I wouldn't want to. If time lets us, if the guests would be keeping on coming, uh, yes, we'd love to do it. We are still gonna
Mm.
do it. So I don't know with JDL though.
Oh, obviously, I would love to do it. I have a lot of ideas that we can do. Like, if, say, for example, there's no guest, there's always the newlywed game show that I have ideas. Like, if I ask Ken a question, if you guys ask Ken a question about me, and if he gets it
Oh,
right,
that's a good one.
exactly, because like test the limits of our tag team friendship. And thank you to everyone that has been watching us right now. Obviously, because Cholo's telling me now. Also, like in an hour coming up, Kayfabe Cafe, Shoukat will be there, so he's gonna have a busy
Homies.
week. Oh yeah, so Kayfabe Cafe, watch that with Shoukat. Coming up 11 p.m. tonight. Sobrang late na. I am way beyond my bedtime. Obviously, I've been drinking my coffee, but you guys can watch that. I'll try to watch that obviously. But yeah, PWOG Live, as much as we can, we will still continue it. There's still a plethora of guests. As you can see, the guests that we've been getting are a lot of international people, a lot of people outside of wrestling. Obviously, because we've been saving also our local guests to come on, because that that's for when we don't really know like what's happening anymore. But with the local guests, there's still a lot of like very interesting stories that we can talk to them about, like the ones with Martivo and everything. So yeah, it's not just a matter of like if the guests will run out. It's also a matter of like, as Ken mentioned, this was a bonding trip for us as the PWOGs. We really had a lot of fun doing these, just like talking to each other, telling me like at 5 a.m. in the morning that he has two guests coming up in the one weekend. I'm like, all right, that's cool. And obviously with me editing everything, it's just a lot of
Right.
fun. It's just a lot of fun. This has been like a strengthening bond for our tag team, obviously. And yeah, PWG Live, if God willing, if you guys willing, we will still keep doing it even after this quarantine.
And to add on real quick,
Yeah,
add on
guys, do you still want to see it happen?
sorry, add on real quick,
All
brother.
right, please.
So just like what the JDL was able to mention, like we're getting the international guest right now to have a solid base. So imagine if we have a solid base for a show. It's easier to get some guests. No, but like no, that's not the
It's
that's
true.
true.
It's true. That's
It's
what we're
true
doing,
though.
man.
It's true though. But like
It's true.
like get the harder ones first. Just like
Yeah.
anything in life, get those hard to reach ones while they're still young, while there's still time,
Mm.
and just go wherever the road takes. That's just what I wanted to say.
You hear that, John Cena? There's still time, because
Yeah.
like John Cena Saturdays is not just just a project that we're
Hashtag.
doing.
That's just
We really
hashtag.
want to have you on. Is Paulo okay? He's like,
All of us.
Yeah,
oh,
Now,
there you
Cholo,
go.
let's pull
Charles,
up
Charles up here.
the.
Perfect timing.
All right.
All right.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
All right. I was asking for the raffle. He pulled up himself. Yeah,
Mm.
just pull up the wheel, Cholo. And yeah, again, the homies of Kayfabe Cafe, 11 p.m. The Prophet of Pain, Shawat, and of course during the weekend, let's support the homies Ken Warren and JDL because it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm
Is
trying to
this for
spin the wheel.
the shorts or the elbow pad? All right. Let JDL spin it now.
It's
Okay, this
it's
is for the
the shorts. He
shorts.
said
Okay,
for the shorts.
JDL, spin the wheel.
Hashtag
Yeah.
Pata
I don't know
Yep.
Team.
the word.
Hashtag.
There
What's
you
the other
go.
hashtag? What's the other hashtag? Pata Team. Hashtag
Uh, Team Botido.
Team
Jason
Botido.
Morrow. There you go.
Jason
Congratulations.
Moro. So message us. You won a bad boy shorts. We still have the elbow pad that we just decided to give on this episode because a lot of Team Botido and Pata Team hashtags are going around. Let's check
Okay,
that one out.
you gotta spin the wheel, Ken. You gotta spin the
Oh,
wheel.
okay. Where's the? This is it. This is it.
Yeah, spin it. Spin it,
One,
brother.
two. Yeah, baby. Kabam.
All right.
There you go.
There's a delay. It's a normal.
Technical
Oh
session.
my gosh! It's the homie from Kayfabe Cafe.
Congrats,
And
brother.
congratulations, man! You won Bad Boy elbow pads. Please, let's talk later on your show on how you would be getting the prize. Now, again, thank you so much, JDL. Thank you so much, Ken. You know, it means so much that we get to talk, and hopefully, we get to talk in person real soon. Or if not, hopefully, we can do this again.
Yeah, thank
Do you
you.
guys want to promote? Do you guys want to promote anything? Let's start with you, Ken.
Yes, please, if you haven't, check out hashtag PWOG live on Instagram on Saturdays and on Sundays. That's Instagram.com/the Ken Warren or Instagram.com/Senorito JDL for Saturdays. Mine's usually on Sundays. Please check out my YouTube channel, who's not super active, but that's the Ken Warren on YouTube or youtube.com/the Ken Warren. On Twitter, although I suck at Twitter, but Twitter.com/the Ken Warren and Facebook. You're seeing me here. I actually have an account here, a page here. That's Ken Warren here on Facebook. And the reason I'm wearing my shirt right now, we haven't promoted it that much, but please, if you can, especially to the ones abroad, check out prowrestlingtees.com/the Ken Warren. And this
What?
exact shirt, yeah, dude, this exact shirt is available there. Even my OG social media sinister shirt, and which other shirt? And this one shirt I never got to release, but hey, Chicago is printing it, so it's available there. And just I was if you guys so want to talk,
Actually,
Paulo and Cholo, you're welcome to hashtag PWOG live. Let us know when's your free date, man.
let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. And yeah, speaking of that, man, my parents live near where Pro Wrestling Tees
Oh
are printing their
wow.
shirts because
Cool.
Yo,
nasa Chicago din kami. We watched our series and an AEW Dynamite show. So that was really cool during the holidays. How about you, JDL? Come on, man.
Same
Promote
thing.
your stuff.
Facebook.com/Senorito JDL, Twitter and Instagram @Senorito JDL. Obviously, I also have a YouTube. Just search Jake De Leon there. It's also not very active, but that's where a lot of the replays of PWOG live go. And also I also have a Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/Senorito JDL. Please continue to support Filipino wrestling. We already talked about the stream sessions on live with PW Homecoming, and also, of course, supporting our frontliners over at tickettv.net. And yeah, thank you again to everyone who was joining us tonight. Thank you to Fight Sport Manila. Thank you to Bad Boys, of course. And yeah, we'll see you on PWOG Live tomorrow and on Sunday.
Yep. Please support every podcast that is going on during the pandemic. You don't need to support just one kasi pwede nyo panoorin kung hindi nyo siya mapanood. There's IGTV. I just found out about IGTV na you can. I used to wait on YouTube for the replays, but thank you IGTV. Ano pala yan? Real time pala yan. Anyways, thank you so much. This is Paolo Gonzalez, Fight Sport Manila, where we bring the fighters closer to the fans and the fans closer to the fight. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Fight Sport